Good afternoon, sir. The LRE himself. I happen to have stumbled on your page recently, and what is happening there is mind blowing. I can't even imagine you standing up to the entire world about African royalty so boldly. And this is amazing. This is very amazing. I'm very grateful, having me. I'm grateful that you're having me on this edition of Discussions with LRE. So, without wasting much time, I would love us to just dive right into it. So, sir, my first question is, if African leaders suddenly stopped begging the West for loans and aid, how would they fund their countries? Do they even have a plan? Or is Africa completely dependent on outsiders? How would we do this? We see you talking about African royalty, but in actuality, in our reality, majority of African nations are still owing. So if we stopped asking the West for aid and loans, how would we survive?
All right, thank you very much for having me. Your question is, stop asking the West for aid and loans. I would prefer the second, which is loan, than aid. Aid is what I'm concerned about. We don't beg. But in business, loan is inevitable. In fact, we call it good debt. When you have debt that are good, it's part of a business process, a business growth. So as a nation, the debt itself is part of the nation building. And that's exactly what I still want to let our nation and our continent know. No loan is bad. What's more important is, what's the intention of getting the loan? First, and what is the loan being used for? Second, are they accountable for the loan? The intention and the purpose of the loan, is it being used effectively? Now, I'm not asking our nation to stop taking loans. What I'm saying is, the approach of communication to the West about what we want is what I want to see stop. It's what I want to stop. Because if I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur, and asking for investment is different from projecting an opportunity for you to invest. Because I know I'm valuable. I know I'm providing an idea that is valuable to you. You may have the resources. It's a transaction. There is a synergy there, because it's a transaction that is going on there. So you and I are transacting. You are valuable, I'm valuable. On the other hand, Africans, they don't see the value in themselves. And they project to the West that the West is the one who is the king here. And they are under their mercy. But they have no idea how valuable they are. If they can project their value to the West, then the West see opportunity. It becomes inevitable. The West begin to look towards Africa as not a place for mercy, or not people who are seeking for refuge, but people who are valuable, who have something to offer. It becomes an opportunity. It becomes something of dignity to the West, not to their mercy. This is how I want us to approach all our communication. Our perception is how I want the West to perceive us. Do you understand it?
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Wow. And this is huge, actually, because in actuality, perception is everything. And the minute even we cannot perceive ourselves as valuable, as what you've just said, who else will perceive us as valuable?
Yes.
Wow, thank you very much, sir. Moving on to my second question. Why do Africans worship European monarchies but ignore, weaken, or even mock their own traditional rulers? Have we been trained to hate our own power? Have we? There's a regard for the Queen, the British Empire, the monarchies, how their structure of government. There's a regard for it. But when we talk about our own obas, our emirs, somehow we associate it with evil and pain and turmoil. So have we been taught, was this also in the indoctrination of the West, to hate our own power?
This is a very important question, because when you are speaking, there's something that moves in me. Because you're right. You're 100% right. This is not what happened yesterday. It has been a pattern that has grew. It's grew from our forefathers, from colonialization until now. You think we've gotten freedom? We haven't. If you understand how kingdom colonialization works, you will truly understand the pattern that is being executed. I can take everything from you, you are still yourself. But if I take away your belief system, I take away your identity, your heritage, your royalty, then nothing is left with you. You will always be at the mercy of this Western people. You will never appreciate what you have, who you are as a person. You will never do that, because your belief system is your life. When it's taken from you, that's all, nothing is left. So when you say it has always been there, it will continually be there until you discover your originality. The essence to this is you were born with a belief system, and those who imputed the belief system on you were given. Those belief systems were given to them. So it's a pass on generation. It's a pass on the generation. There is a framework that has been existing all through these years. We need to cut it off in this era. We need to cut it off and begin to look ourselves, begin to discover ourselves that this is who we are, this is who we were, and this is who we should be now. Wow. By doing so, begin to honor what this question you ask. During the weekend, I was cutting my hair in the salon, and some boys, they were talking. And whenever they say anything, if not be saying that this bad Nigeria would take, this bad Nigeria, I was looking at them. I didn't see this young man. I saw a generation of communication, a generation of beliefs that has been existing.
Wow.
This bad Nigeria. I begin to say, how can you hate yourself so much? And you're saying you are bad? Because they never knew that the one they're referring to themselves. They don't know Nigeria is not in a location, it's in the people. So automatically they are telling themselves that they are bad.
Wow.
Where did that belief system come from? If you trace it back, you will know it came from our forefathers. These great people who has lived before us. The belief system has been existing before now. And we need to cut it off. I was so angered in me. I couldn't communicate to them because the problem is not in them. The problem is the belief system that has been imputed in them. Do you understand? This is exactly what gets me angry. It gets me angry because I begin to realize how far we are going to go to cut off this belief system from them. It is tough. It is tough. But we will get there. When we get there, when we begin to realize that no, we are not slaves. We were kings. We were wealthy. This continent was very powerful. We begin to restore our power and our dignity. That's what I see.
Wow.
Hold on. Can American, you just see what's happening. Every country, an Italian will tell you, I love Italy. Everything that comes from Italy is beautiful. It's beautiful.
That is true.
They take pride with what they own, no matter what. No matter how small it is, they love it and value it and cherish it. When are we going to get to that level?
Wow.
We have a long way to go. Thank you.
Indeed, I can already feel, and I'm not even living in you, but I can feel your passion over this issue, and I know that it takes one to start a revolution. So thank you very much. Oh, I have to apologize, even though we couldn't see the haircuts from Salim, but all right. The very next question. If an African billionaire wanted to build a new global empire, like the British or Roman empires of the past, what would stop him? What would you say would stop him? Will it be the West or his fellow Africans? And why?
I'm a golfer.
Okay.
And there are so many lessons I've learned in golf. When you are in the course, you will notice there is instability on the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
There is up and down. During my early time of learning from a professional, I began to ask so many questions. Why are there obstacles in this golf course? Why is it not smooth, a playground? He told me what's more powerful. He said that it was intentionally placed there. That the upside down I see was intentionally placed in the golf course. So for you to become a professional, you have to overcome each obstacle. Overcoming each obstacles bring you closer to the goal. That means I learned a very powerful lesson there. It means there is no institution, no one on this earth, the entire universe, that begins a product, a company, a institution, a movement that will never encounter an obstacle.
That is true.
Never look at this obstacle as a disadvantage. Embrace them, because each obstacle leads you to victory. So I wouldn't want to tell you that if someone begins to start institutions in Nigeria, he may definitely will encounter obstacles from the West and from our own people, but he shouldn't let those obstacles define who is becoming. These are obstacles. I don't see obstacles as, okay, the West is trying to fight me, or my people are trying to fight me. No, they are part of the process. They are part of the process. Do you know what really amazed me? When my professional coach asked me to take up the golf ball, he told me, look beyond these obstacles. Look beyond these obstacles. In every moment, in every level we get to, there are obstacles. Obstacles. And then I was being trained. He told me, focus on the target, not the obstacles. That's it. So even if you are in the West, you are in the North, the South, you will still encounter obstacles. That's why you must be a victor by always keep on going in building the future you want to see in Africa. Don't let the West stop you. Don't let your people stop you. That's my message.
Wow.
That's my message.
Wow, sir. You know, one of the things I am really happy about is you're not just here to make a statement about hating the West. You're here to make a statement about us looking at ourselves, looking inward, and then bringing us up to par and even surpass the Westerners that we look up to. You're not preaching a hate message, and this is powerful, because in every identity, in actuality, when you find your identity, there is no competition. So I'm really happy. I'm really glad for this. Why do African leaders sign deals that rob the entire continent of its wealth for generations? Is it because these people are fools? Or do they not just know that this is robbing their continent? Are they traitors? Or are they just too weak to stand up to foreign powers?
All right. Leadership in the higher dimension is different from how you perceive it in lower dimensions. That means the way things work above is far, far different from how the masses, the people see it. Our leaders are not weak. They all have right intentions for the growth of our communities, for the growth of our continent, our nation. They have the right intention. No one would want to be elected and say, once I'm elected, I want to be bad president or a bad governor to the people. No one has that intention. There are circumstances that surround their poor performances. I would agree to that. But the decisions they make are the right decisions based on how and what they know. But the shift here is this. The way you perceive yourself determines how you make decisions. So I wouldn't say they are making the wrong decision. I wouldn't say they are taking us to a doom. I'm saying it, how and what are they thinking about themselves? How do they perceive themselves? From which perspective are they thinking out from? I think I was in communication with someone and he was asking me almost similar question. And I told him, if you have two friends, if you have a friend, both of you grew up together, had the same mindset, played the same place. Fortunately, the person had opportunity to become one of these positions, like a governor and a senate. Do you think his ideology and yours are different now?
Not at all.
Do you think anything has changed?
Nothing.
He's still your friend. Your thinking, your dreams and goals both of you had is still the same. The both of you are planning to make a lot of money. When he goes there, what will be his intention? To make a lot of money. Nothing has changed. He's still the same person that has left you. Fortunately for him, he has a position now. Nothing has changed. So I don't know why we blame our leaders. They are the same people like us who has the same belief system, who has inherited certain belief system that has been programmed from generations to generations until now. So the first step is for them, the leaders, to go back and ask yourself, who am I? And what do I want for this country? What do I want for my people? True leadership, the people trusted you because they see you fit for the position. Leadership is a gift. That means you have a gift to make a change, that the people has a vision that they've aspired to see. But the person they appointed, if he's thinking like a slave, what difference would the person make? Do you understand? Let me give you a clap issue now. If, for example, right now, if we go to the presidency chamber, his office, or perhaps where he received guests, I bet you 90% of what you see in that office are Italian-made products or the Western products. From the furnitures, I think the only thing that belongs to a Nigerian made there will be his uniform, what he wears. They are all from the West. So just imagine I'm receiving a Western leader to my chamber, and whatever that is surrounding me is made by Westerners. Well, what makes you think I won't think like a slave? I automatically am a subject. Imagine me showing you mirror. This furniture belongs to Italian. It was imported from there. I'm even saying it with pride. With pride. Even the airplane that I have doesn't belong to an African. It's not even a new one to start with. Do you understand me?
Yes.
So I'm not blaming our leaders if the decision they've been making all through these years. No, they need to know themselves first. Once they do, they know themselves. They be able to. You can't give what you don't have.
How?
You can't be a king and think like a slave, and you can't be a slave and think like a king. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's it.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Your perspective on the things and people, our continent, our culture, your perspective is quite unique. And I must say, I'm enjoying where this is going. I can't wait to see what the next few years holds, especially for the LRA branding. All right, my next question, sir. If a war broke out today between Africa and the West, would African leaders fight like true warriors, or would they surrender before the first bullet is fired?
This question, I don't know why you just amazed me. Do you know why I'm laughing?
I know, sir.
The current war going on between Russia and Ukraine, and even Israel and Gaza, I know African leaders must have aired their opinion.
Yes.
Do you understand me?
Yes.
The problem is who listens to them? Who listens to them? Even the leaders are aspiring and waiting for Trump to say something. Is that not correct?
That's true.
That means they depends on certain individual to speak in a situation. Why they themselves are leaders?
Yes. Or
Do you understand me?
yes, sir.
You think about it. Think of any African country who have a voice to be respected, that have an authority over the global leadership. Any country. Tell me which president from Africa that can speak right now and the US will listen. Russia will listen. China will listen. Give me one leader. Give me one leader. They are all waiting for Trump. If Trump doesn't say anything, nothing is working. If the Chinese president doesn't, if the president from Israel doesn't speak, no one will hear. Non-African leader has the authority and power to speak, and the word will listen. Where did that come from? You tell me. Where did it come from? So I don't know if I answered your question.
You left us with more questions, Salah. You left us with more questions about ourselves and how we see ourselves. Wow. Let me just jump right to the next question. Why do Africans cry about colonialism but still send their brightest minds to Europe and America instead of building Africa? Are we fighting the past while running towards the same trap? Do you think this is what we are doing even now? Why do we cry about colonialism, but still we send the brightest of us to Europe, to America to study, to gain degrees? Do you think we're running back to the trap of the past instead of building Africa?
When you say the trap of the past, it is quite challenging because there is no past. There is just a change of tactics. There is no past. Do you understand? There is no past at all. Two dimensions to your question. First, I would want to blame these experts and talents that is currently leaving our continent, because they never knew it's a strategy to get them out of our continent, to build their systems, to build their economies. Show me a nation with great talent. Show me a country or a community with talent. I show you a developed and thriving economy. Where there is no talent, there is no development. The great resources and the best resources that we have is not in natural resources, it's in its people. When the people are not there, there can be no development. For example, this is the city we are in at the moment, Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. Think about it. Everybody are going to work every day. Every morning they go to work. But at the end of the year, has the GDP of this state increased? What are they doing at work? What difference is their input making? Because they don't understand what talent means and the role of talent in developing an economy. Check every developed nation, they understood this. Check China, check the UAE, check Singapore. They understood this message. To answer your question, the talents themselves, you can be a skillful slave. Do you understand me? You can be so skillful and be a slave at the same time. If you don't know who you are and you have a skill, because your country is not good, you want to utilize your skill because you have a favorable offer in another country and they want to pay you more there. And you understand that you going there has made you automatically a subject, not an object. No matter the skill you have, think about it. If you truly know yourself, will you want to be a slave in another man's land or be a king in your domain, with your gift, with your skill. You think about it, regardless of your skill. Let me let you know, your skill was made to solve a problem. So if you are running away from a location that has a problem, your skill is void to start with. If I'm a doctor, because they're paying me well elsewhere, and people are dying here, and I'm a doctor who is capable to serve people because I prefer to be paid more, I'm leaving my people to suffer. And I call myself a doctor who know myself. I'm equally a slave.
What?
Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
So I blame these skilled people who are living to be paid. You see these people going to US, UK and all the other Western countries being paid peanuts. Apart from the payment, they become subjects. They use them to increase the economy. You know, you say the livelihood and the life expectancy of Africa is poor, and the West is high. Those useless statements. Who is making the life expectancy of the West high? Check it. The Africans. The best doctor. You see, the Africans.
Africans.
They're all Africans. They have this knowledge there. They leave African people to die, and they think they are selling. They are not. They are slaves there. They are slaves there. Do you understand?
Yes.
Secondly, I will blame the West because they caused a chaos in our economy that made these people to leave. They didn't know. See, if I want to kill animals in a circle, I put a deadly chemical there. I don't have to go there and be running after them. I find where they are gathered, I put a chemical there. What will happen? They will run out because none of them want to die. That's exactly what's happening to our economy. They create a system whereby they cause confusion within our midst, and our talent begin to run. Our people begin to run. That's what is going on. So that's it. That's it.
You've said a lot. You've said a lot. Where there is no talent in a community, a country, a continent, development dies immediately.
It's void. It's void of development. A country that is void of talent is void of development.
Wow. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We will be going straight to the next question. If Africa is truly rich and powerful, why does the world still control our money, media, education, and leadership? Who really owns Africa? The people, the leaders, or foreign interests?
Sometimes you ask questions that you should already know the answer. Ask me, which of a Western person watch your local news? You know, we young age, 70%, let's say 60 to 70% of our population as a country, Nigeria, is below 30 years. That means we are all young and we love the internet. We love technology. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All through your 24 hours per day, every devices you come across, every app that you open, does it belong to you? Which of your talent here has created an app you are using here? You tell me that. You also let me know that. Even the local channels that we are watching right now, it's not from us. We prefer the Western channels if we want to get the right news. And these people project us as if we are from the bush, from the forest. All they know about Africa is an arrow and a spear. Oh, wonderful. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir, I do.
Everything is controlled by them. The first thing to get people to subject to belief system is the media. Everything that has been told about Africa has been through the media. Every lies they've told is through the media. And we are so fortunate because now we have access to the media. What are we doing about it? We are using our hand to project the negative of our people to them as well. So they are no longer doing it for us. We are doing it ourselves. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
That's it. Instead of having this tool that they've created, look at it. If I can't fight you with my weapon, If I'm wise, I use your weapon to fight you. Period. Do you understand me? Period. That's it.
Wow.
That's it.
Okay, sir. You often speak about Africans using what befits and reveals our royalty. Where do we draw the line with Western creations like smartphones, suits, automobiles, and other products of the West? Does wearing or using any of these undermine our royalty and heritage, or does it devalue our Africanness?
You see, if I had the privilege to speak to leaders, great leaders, these are great leaders for our nation, in any sphere, I need to speak to them. There's an ideology that has spread across Africa and across the world that products are from the West, or products are from certain nation. Products are products generated by a talent. It is not subjected to the Western products. For example, I'm wearing a suit. If you are a wise person, don't ask me, you are wearing a suit that originated from the West. That's not the right question to ask. The right question to ask is, who made the suit? Do you understand me?
Yes.
Who made the suit? And I will either tell you it's a Western guy or an Italian guy from an African. Suit was promoted. That doesn't mean it is limited to the creation of a certain location, a certain continent, or a certain country. Every product that we use today is subject to the developer, which is the talent who came up with the idea. That means if you generate an idea, I have the right to create something unique from that same idea. That doesn't make me fake. It is when I use your identity in creating that product, that's what makes me fake. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
And that's what has limited Africans. Because before they think of anything, it has already been in existence in the West. So they think everything is from the West. 90% of what we use today, they are all from the West. 90%. You think about it. 90% of what we don't even promote what we have. Because we've been programmed to be inferiors. Because we are ahead in okay, for example, you are a fashion designer from Italy, and I'm a fashion designer in Nigeria. Because I'm starting out, if I'm wise, the first thing I need to do is that anything I create is original, right?
Yes, sir.
The next thing I need to do is to continually improve on the qualities. But because you have been ahead of me in the game, they subject you to be the original. I am the fake. And you've been in business for 30, 100 years. And I'm just starting out, trying to improve on my creation, what I've invented. Does that make me fake? No, I'm still in the process because you are ahead of me. That doesn't make me fake. Do you understand? Let me say again. All products are subject to the creator, to the inventor, not the country. Not the country. You can produce any product. That's why we have Italian suits. We have French suits. We have American suits. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
Not because Brummel promoted suit from the UK, and now you are saying suit belongs to the West. That's the wrong statement. So the only thing we know how to do is to that buba wrapper. That's what is coming out of Africa, to tie in those useless clothes. I know this is our culture. It is part of our creation. What we produce, but it is not limited. We are not limited to these things. We can produce above. That's why, when can we have the African aeroplane? Just the same way this Boeing company producing planes. Are we producing our planes? We don't even value a few manufacturers who manufacture cars. We don't even value their cars. Do you know what that means? Great brands, they branded you to think that their car is the best quality. If I put Innocent car here, and I put Bugatti here, and two expert drivers drove those two cars and they had an accident, are you saying because Bugatti is the best quality car, it won't have an accident and destroy? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're saying? That it will retain its uniqueness, nothing will happen to Bugatti? because it was made from the best quality. They branded you with their heritage and you think they are the best, the most quality, they are the most luxurious car. No! If you understand that everything that has ever existed will perish, everything in this world will perish. So leave a Bugatti in one spot for the next 2 years, 3 years, and see what will happen to that Bugatti. The same way you leave an innocent car in a location, see what will happen to that car. They brainwashed us. We need to start thinking and loving what we produce and promote it with dignity. That's where our honor will return back to us.
My last question is, if Western countries treated African immigrants the same way Africa treats foreign immigrants, giving them better jobs, better pay, and more respect, because I know that is what we do with the immigrants here. When they come over to our country, we want to treat them well. We want them to stay in the best places, have the best jobs, because we feel somehow that they can offer us better. So if the Western countries treated us the same way, do you think Africans will still complain about racism?
You shouldn't fall in trap with terms and words.
Sorry.
You don't treat kings, you honor kings.
Sorry.
So you're using the word if they treat us. You're already placing yourself as a slave. Do you understand me? Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
You honor kings, you don't treat them. So I wouldn't even answer that question.
Sorry.
I won't answer that question because before you go into their country, there was a problem. There was a problem you're trying to run out of. So that means something happened that prompted them to leave because they are not comfortable with their country. Is that not correct?
Yes, sir.
So who created that void? You say, who created that problem that is making them to leave? What? Our continent is built on one word, dependency. And for me to depend on anyone, for example, for you to depend on me, that means I created a system that makes you uncomfortable. First, I created a system that took away your authority. The authority now belongs to me. And then you will always need me for everything. Do you understand me?
Yes, sir.
So there is no word. The word immigrant, I hate it with passion. I don't know why. I hate the word immigrant with passion. I hate it. Do you understand? So I wouldn't answer your question. I will not answer a question. They don't have to treat us. They have to honor us. If the king, the Oba of Benin is going to visit the king, the Oni of Ife, is he going to, with the Oni of Ife, thinking of treating the Oba of Benin? No. He will be thinking of honoring the Oba of Benin. If a Nigerian, an African, from anywhere, part of Africa, goes to the US, they should be honored, not treated. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Because I've seen firsthand of a Singaporean, an Australian going to the US. The honor they give to them. You stay in the same line with them. You are in the airport. See the way they honor them. They don't treat them with respect, and they honor them. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
And if these passports from different countries are placed on the desk, the passport color alone determines the honor they give to you.
My God.
Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
And that's exactly what I want to restore to every African countries. Wow. And when these passports are being presented to the West, anywhere in the world, they will be honored. They will be honored. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
That's my goal. We are supposed to be honored, not be treated nicely or respectfully. We are supposed to be honored. We are kings. We have value beyond measures. And we must be respected and be honored 100% all the time. Because if you take us back to history, there is no empire in the entire continent of the world that was so powerful than African continent. No empire, not even the British. not even the British. You think about it. Think about the Mali Empire. Think about all the entire empire in our country. The Edo Empire, the Oyo Empire, this way, we are strong and powerful empires. But they did something. They took away our power, they took away our heritage, they took away our identity. We now live as if we don't know who we are anymore. We need to restore the Swiss bank. We must restore the bank. Thank you.
Powerful, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me here and giving us these answers. We will go indeed and think about them. Thank you.